Все. Translation пошла тут. Наверху заканчивается. Стоп. Да, трансляция завершена. Тут будет вам получше, мне кажется.
Feel like everyone at home right now has admired the way that Chasman Gaming approached that game. I mean, they really made today's Division 1 work for it. They did not give it to them easy. That was a match that could have well gone to a big final step. In honesty,
Погодите, извините за звуки.
Again, my Goku, of course, Sutampo, a lot of damage being dealt in around like that, of course, it is constant fighting. But it's that adaptation made by Division 1, right? We double down that right side lane, try and make it so they never get close enough to get that insta-kill or to find those early eliminations. Very, very hard. For Chasman to get value out of their pick, although we love it. We love to see that. It gives you great all-in potential. And then last round, Sutampo starts off by just all-inning, just going straight down that right side lane and getting a ton of early damage. Very respectable showing here from Chasman Gaming EU, but sadly, their run ends here. Sadly so. I mean, again, I don't feel like people expect that much from the middle ones, just based upon the fact that they were the number 6 seed. But they look today like a number 2, like a number 1 seed. It's Saints Division 1, you know? You don't see matches like that normally when the seeds are so far apart. I think they did tremendously well. Saints Division 1, though, again, just kept the pressure on. You know, they forced the decision making from Chasman. They just kept going and doubling down those lanes, and you know, Chasman just felt a little bit unnerved by that. They couldn't really determine what they were going to do and how. So how was your prediction? Did you go well? I think we all were correct on ours. You can head over to event.brawlstars.com and make your own. If you missed that first match, don't worry. You've got plenty of time to make your way, of course, that fantastic Tara skin. Get your predictions in for that next match and have a chance to vote on your MVP. A lot of candidates, in my opinion, on that Zayla Division 1 side. 3 of them, in fact, as we saw fantastic play across that entire team. The Carl, I think, was a recurring theme in those first couple of maps, right? I think that might be a big storyline already emerging here on day 1. Yeah, like I said, you know, teams and players are watching with eagle eyes as to what everyone across the regions are doing. And that is a brawler which we have not seen massive play rates for, in all honesty.
So it's выиграл, сейчас, по идее, реплей будет.
Here is your bracket again with our first match finalized at Division 1.
Выбираем, конечно, реплейку.
They will await the winner of EMEA number 2 Reply Totem and NA and LATAM North number 2 Vatra Gaming. Another incredible matchup on hand for us here. 2 teams that are really very stylistically similar. When you look at their journey throughout this year, very, very similar, very mirrored.
Так,
you know,
все, еще выиграли квест.
took a little bit of time to get into their flow, and that was noticeable when they got into their flow. You know, it happened towards the later stages, which brings us to the World Finals. So coming in, they really are both at that stage.
Вот на страницу поменять свои выборы. Интересно. Она засчитывается. Такая. Там армяне зажигают, у нас природный час. Боже, что так долго? Круто. Понимаю. Алло, где? Право горы, слева горы, а вдали Кавказ. И зажигают нас природный час. Право горы, слева горы, а вдали Кавказ. Ну, иди. Не понял. Это. Ой, тем. Тем. Фу, все. Армения,
Grand
зажигай.
finals and almost entirely undefeated throughout 2 whole seasons. Already lifted 1 trophy this
Да.
year. Will they be lifting
Там.
the grandest prize of all
Ну, мне кажется, так.
before the year is out?
Может, я ошибаюсь.
Your July and August EMEA champions this team. And the name you said first is the one I want to talk about. Joker is the real deal. Heralded by many EMEA players and insiders as the best player in that region. He is a big deal, but these guys have quite the challenge ahead of them before we get there. Let's bring him out.
Et leur adversaire du jour, c'est l'équipe qui représente le Mexique. C'est une équipe qu'il est difficile de ne pas être fan. On les aime beaucoup. Beaucoup de bruit. Para Mexico. Vatra Gaming.
Payne, RBM, Juan Carlos, Coach Peter Jack. Man start of the year as slow burners, but that blaze grew with the competition to what is now nothing short of a fiery inferno. It's one of the most charismatic teams in the entire BSC. They exude confidence and hold a spirit that cannot be broken. For the grand final win in September and very almost yet again in October, Vatra Gaming truly are at the
Ой,
very
конечно.
top of
Могу
their game.
забрать.
I think it's safe to say this team is
Еще
the
помню.
most successful NA and LATAM North team in the second half of the season. This organization makes their entry into the All-Stars Championship assistant teams. Vatra Amaterasu and Volcano. Eventually, one of those teams moves on, but they really double down on that Amaterasu roster, and this team has been incredible. Peter Jack, the coach of this team, said, we think Totem actually have a really similar style to us. Very aggressive, really in your face. And Imso actually agrees with that, coach of Reply Totem. In fact, Imso said, you know, out of all the teams we have to go up against, I'd really prefer it not be Vatra, just because that's the kind of style we like to own. And when we have to go up against a team that's so similar, I mean, anything could happen. Really hard to predict. It's great to hear that, isn't it? Because it really does send a lot of merit to the fact that these two teams are so similar. And today they're going to have to find the areas where they are not and expose them and really knuckle down for this one. Ultimately, I've loved to watch both of the two teams' journeys throughout this year. It's such a great example of growth. And that is something that, you know, coming into the World Finals is such a great thing to have. But in that same respect, Reply Totem's final few months, they weren't their greatest, honestly. You know, they're kind of almost question marks. Yeah, a little bit, you know. Not losing to SK, you know, in the October or the September finals rather, and then going out to the quarterfinals of October to Bats. That was very uncharacteristically of them. Again, we saw an experimental draft from this Reply Totem team. So when Chasmac benefited from the change to the draft system, Reply Totem actually believed that they didn't benefit from it. In fact, they had to adapt because they were a team that liked to come out of the gates with really unpredictable compositions, weird brawlers, ones you don't expect. Now when your pick and ban is a bit more telegraphed, it's a bit more of it's easier to get a read on your opponent before the game started. So this team had to adapt. Bringing in Joker was a big difference maker for this team, because not only is he an incredibly mechanically gifted player, but he really pitched in on the strategic and the drafting side. He and Inso sort of worked that by committee, and it gave Reply Totem another level of depth. And we saw that, I think, after MSI in the later part of the year. I think this team is really good, but yeah, falling out in a quarterfinal in your home region against a team like Baxter, who are struggling to sort of make it in, not a great look. We want to see consistency from Reply Totem, at least those that predicted them anyway. I know you and I are just feeling like Vatra's got something special, something we haven't seen, maybe a bit of an X factor. I think Reply Totem looked a little bit nervous last couple of days. This is something which we get to see, isn't it? It's a great thing to be here for that very reason. We get to see how the teams are. And Reply Totem have been very reserved, very calm. That could go for them, or it could go against them. Vatra have been the exact opposite, again, as one of the more charismatic teams in the BSC. Very big personality. Pulling pranks. I think, like, look at Bobby's tweet. I think it was like, one Carlos or one of the players was like knocking on Bobby's door at 7 a.m. Exactly. Getting in his head. They're having a lot of fun here, and that's bound to translate sort of into their play style. Reply Totem on the other end. So this morning I'm walking through the hotel, right? There's like a kids area. It has some like little TVs, cartoons are on there, whatever. The whole kids area is taken up by Reply Totem in their black hoodies and black sweatpants with their iPads out, and they're just getting ready. And I said, so, you know, this is for maybe people a little bit younger. He's like, listen, we couldn't find, you know, the right kind of venue to get everyone together, so we ended up here. I said, but little Timmy wants to watch Shrek. No, not having it. They are very, very serious. They really wanted to make sure their prep was nailed down.
That's dedication for you, isn't it? You know, work never stops, and ultimately you've got to make the most of every opportunity. Yeah, exactly. And there are a lot of screaming kids around here in Disneyland Paris, I can assure you. So definitely not the most calm of environments for them to be able to perform under.
So, again, sort of relying on some of our conversations with them. This one actually came up in an interview. Shout out to Lucas BS who put the magazine together.
Incredible stuff.
For the World Final. So big shout out to you. Enzo says he thinks that the winner, this is getting ahead of himself. He says the winner of Reply Totem versus Zeta Division 1 will win Worlds. That's obviously assuming that Reply Totem advanced past this match, which I think is a big leap to take, but he really thinks that that side of the bracket, this first 4 games, has some of the top teams in there. I'm so ready to get this one on.
Yeah, layer cake and bounty is where it's going to go down, but in that same idea, I've got to bring it back around to October. This was the map that led Vax versus Reply Totem into the 3rd set. So this is
I feel like we see the tick come in here pretty much all the time. I like the idea of also taking Janna off the table, right? Really safe, really sort of, middle of the road kind of brawl of that. Again, when you get pressured, you've got a lot of stars, you can just get out there and get back to sort of safety. It's also the kind of reason why, Piper is valued here as well. Pinch, popping, gets you out of trouble. And that's why he's going to get picked here. Oh, it looks so smart. Oh my God.
Speaking of the devil, great stuff. I mean, that is a scary one because Piper in the North America and Latin North region really is a common one to have, and Tick very susceptible to that same idea. So I think that is a great way to start, honestly. Again, Reply Totem now in a bit of a troublesome position because they can't then break open the map and apply even more ability for Vatra to have dominance.
They want to give them the sidelines, right?
Exactly that. I wonder if they might combine the roughs with this as well, because ultimately over time in layer cake is where a brawler like Ruffson gets so much value. Otis is where they want to go, and Totem's most used brawler this year, and it's normally Joker who plays it. Again, that aggressive nature that he has, very similar to the next Division 1.
Players on that mid-range brawler. It's so exciting to see. Daryl gets picked up here for Vatra. Again, last pick, that pick 6. Tell us about this pick from Juan Carlos.
Well, like we saw previously, in that last matchup with Zeta and Chaz match, the Otis was a great counter. So I like what Vatra have done by picking Otis first. It's not giving much away, and then seeing what they're up against. This could be the very brawler which is going to keep Reply Totem in that back spawn area. Sure, you can feed a lot of value into Maris as much as...
У меня даже сейчас запаздывает. Боже мой.
actually even more time to get themselves set up.
RBM always going to be playing forward on this right hand side. We need to dodge a lot of this team damage, but doesn't mind too much. Maru will probably get plenty of supers as a result. There, Joker cops a glancing blow from the Piper in middle. Back away for a time, and Vatra have the lead despite not having the blue star. Here comes the tower roll. Going to be responded by a tailspin. Joker trying to deal with him, and RBM's out of the picture already.
Yeah, a little bit overzealous there for me, just a little bit. It was a 1 versus 3, and despite RBM being able to cycle, actually, I mean, it's great to get the value actually to do so, but you know they've got to be a bit cautious. They've got to combine that aggression with some calculative ideas a little bit more. But hey, it's still the early game. I think it's not a bad time to start to do that.
Juan Carlos starts to encroach again, but Joker gets in there. Bit of star moment now. The blue star going over to reply totem. Maru's magic puffs keeping Maru topped up, and RBM struggling to get close. And that's a magic hand he'd sooner forget.
Joker pops the flying hook there just for safety. And I think that was a white choice, but the taps there from Payne are strong. The healing puffs though is going to come in so key here. Great value for reply totem in this kind of position. If they can hold 4 here, they can survive this.
Map really starting to open up now, giving Payne some pretty good sidelights. Something to be aware of.
Payne is lurking, and he's timing them as well. If they can just get one final swoop, they can secure this.
It's going to have to be an all-in though now, as we're down to 18 seconds left in the round. Maru hold up in the corner there as Joker trying to soak a little bit. Payne trying to get a little bit closer, no connection there. Homemade recipe not elected to be used, and here comes RBM. In they go. It's going to be a tailspin from Joker as Maury's able to get RBM down. Juan Carlos trades, but it's a 3-star lead to reply totem. Maru's in danger, pushed up against the corner, but reply totem hang on.
Great resolve there from reply totem, just putting the confidence into the composition. You love to see it. Starting to get their pace and time their runs. We saw Joker there just really going in with the flying hook at just the right times with no Piper Soup to be able to jump away. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to look for those moments of weakness in your opposition.
Scary how durable Joker is compared to RBM. When that fight actually happens, it's pretty hard to get rid of the Carl, and Carl gets damaged while having that extra durability. RBM struggling there to break down reply totem's defensive setup. Here he goes again, on a Joker, he's going to back away, flying hook gets him out of trouble.
Side lane aggression, 3 stars for reply totem from Juan Carlos, is doing a lot of work here. Fast pattern will, oh no! Maru there with a beautiful gadget there as the last hurrah to stay alive there. Keeps the stars for totem.
It's all gone wrong. Payne's trying to posture aggressively here, but not a great position to be in now. He is the pigeon amongst the cats apparently. Gets out there with the super though, back to safety. Vatra have to regroup.
Swap, that should do very well though, isn't it? Just take their time and they know they can get the steal. Joker goes quick here, and a great position there from RBM forcing Joker forward, but now he's found some space on the right. Oh, great magic hand connection there from Maori. 7 stars to 0. Vatra are starting to crumble.
That's the blue star. RBM handling is very low. Maori's able to pick him up. That's a crucial elimination. 10 to 2 in stars now. We had under a minute left. Decent lead for reply totem here. Payne has to be really afraid of those tick supers. They're really hard to deal with.
Oh, beautiful stuff. Great takedown. Everyone harnessing on the weak link. Juan Carlos is doing his best from the left. Oh, again, Maru. What a time. Tick head that really was. Taking it and Payne can't do much about it.
Again, RBM wants to move up. Magic hand. They won the Darryl. And they break him down to boards and rings. Juan Carlos now trying to pressure and he actually hits the mute on towards Maru, but the magic puff still ticking. Joker now muted as well. Juan Carlos finds 2 supers in a space of 3 seconds, but he can't hold up. Here comes RBM to the rescue, or is he? Tailspin used there by Joker, and he's too durable. Far less close in that last round as reply totem plant their feet and say, no, we're here to play.
The scariest part of that though was that for the number of stars that were available in that final push, Vatra could have got a steal. It could have been a tie yet again. That blue star surely would have been in their pocket at the back of it, but this is what I love about reply totem. You know, for a team that have really struggled at the start of the year to find themselves in such a way, they've got that experience that when under pressure, they're able to look around the house. Beautiful transactions there.
You see how quickly the blue star changing hands there, and the round that was as close as that was, that's critical. Joker tries to go aggressive, flying hook there, but it's pretty telegraphed, right? An opportunity for Otis just to use that super, shut the Carl down. But I'm going to be honest with you, Carl may as well be your tank. You fights like that, as soon as RBM tries to engage, it's a tailspin, protected pirouette, super hard to bust him up, and I don't blame them for being excited about how this first set has gone.
Great energy from Joker, and again, we were saying coming into this match just how reserved they've been around the hotel, and that's what we're waiting to see. It's really fantastic stuff. Oh my word, look at that.
Yeah.
Maori, 10 takedowns, Payne with 0 as well, got to point that out too. Struggled a little bit there, just couldn't quite find the momentum, the pacing, but Joker with the 5, Maori with the 2, but Blyton just really worked so well as a unit in that set.
And again, they have to group up with RBM, but there needs to be follow-up when RBM goes in. You can see his damage, he's really designed to maybe take down a single target up close, but he wants to close the gap. The rest of the Vatra Gaming squad have to be able to follow up there, and you see that Joker comes out with the most damage, which is no shock, because he's always in those fights, and again, he's looking to be the boogeyman of the metagame here at the World Finals.
Yeah, I like the way that he was just so self-aware. When you're a Carl player, you've got to time those aggressive ideas. Otherwise, you can be feeding stars into your opposition. The controlling element as well. A lot of the pressure of those situations was down to him to keep that Darryl at bay.
It's like a real captain's role, doesn't it? Yeah, at least it's emerged that way so far. We're off to Heist next, ladies and gentlemen. This is Reply Totem's best game type, an 89% win rate in sets. Gotta be feeling good after snatching away that first set too.
Bands are in as well. Colette, B and Brock for Reply Totem. An early draft of roughs for Vatra, and I like that. In safe zone, we see a lot of long-range, slow, kind of aggressive lanes and mids. So having roughs to be able to bring in the supply drops in over time, the longer the match goes on, the stronger your team get. So I think that's going to be a great start for them. I think the Buzz ban is a great idea as well, because Reply Totem really love to bring in Buzz here in safe zone. 8-bit coming in for Reply Totem.
So those quad barrel stacks in the middle part of the map are actually pretty important to get rid of, because it allows mid laners to assist with the side lane matchups a lot of the time. So Payne might look to try and remove those fairly early, at least the one on Vatra's side of the map. Okay, our first griff of the day getting picked up here by Murray.
And a very underrated brawler, I've got to say, one that is often used in the North America and Latin North region as well, because they just seem to have an understanding as to how good it can be. I feel like they might go in with Piper here on the side of Vatra, or Bell even, because combining those rough supply drops with long-range sharpshooters, despite having the 8-bit turrets, on the side, and it is going to be Bell. I think that's great. I mean, having the nest egg in the mid is going to slow the advance, and forcing out Joker to have that damage booster on the ground. They can utilize that sure for a bit of defensive capability, but ultimately, as an 8-bit, without that, you're pretty slow and sluggish.
Really enjoying this draft from both sides so far, actually. Nothing too wacky here, just some very solid, very dependable, serviceable brawlers. It's in the 8-bit from Joker. I mean, if that's where he ends up going, it's a real opportunity to make flashy plays with cheat cartridge moving around the map. So you round this out with Lola again, really reasonable, sort of mid to long range kind of brawler. And again, she hits like an absolute truck when Megalomania is active.
Yeah, it's a great pairing. Often we see that kind of Bell and Lola idea coming into force. It hasn't been so heavily utilized recently in the EMEA region on this particular map, but I admire that coming in with it. I think many teams kind of forget about it. What a Reply Totem going to pick to round off this comp? It is lacking a little bit of range. I don't know whether they're going to go Rico. That's more of a North American body coming in instead. Again, having something which can continuously pressurize the safe, keeps your eyes on the objective.
Yeah, look, we saw it in that first series there as well, picked up, and Shitampo was able to use her to harass the safe pretty safely. The range is quite impressive, even if the fire rate isn't stellar. But then when, you can dive in, all in that safe and really start to break it down. Shitampo especially showed us some flashy moments on that pick. So you got what you wanted. You got a little bit more range here for this composition. How do you feel these stack up?
I think it's been quite close. I think that if Vatra can just keep Reply Totem away from their safe and keep the spawn cycle in their favour, that's going to be the key. Ultimately, having that 8-bit, really can gain so much damage. With that damage booster, maybe even a damage hit, extra credits on the safe, you're going to be piling in so much damage, and Vatra cannot afford that.
And Maru instantly opens up the right-hand side of the map with that piggy bank here, just to make sure he can stand toe-to-toe with RBM. Maori here, scary prospect, slow but pretty durable as far as hard hitters go. And there's that first stack destroyed here. Opens up a bit now for Payne to assist in the side lanes.
Great connection there from Maori, honestly. Everything really laying into Payne. But with the cover down, it is going to expose the damage booster on the aggressive side of things for Reply Totem, so they do have to time that carefully, get some takedowns and make sure that Badger haven't really got a response. It's a 3% lead so far, just a little bit, but it would be enough to time around down.
It's a real power play moment for Maori here, of course, who not only is getting his damage boosted, but also the speed, so it makes it a little bit easier to juke these shots coming in from Payne, or so we thought. Now Payne can step up, get rid of that damage amplifier, make it harder for Maru now to win that side fight. Joker tries to collapse here, it's going to be super thrown out by Maru, but RBM's able to take him down, 2v1.
And this is the thing now, Mari is so slow and sluggish. RBM getting some great fire down on the right-hand side as Payne comes in for another supply drop. 2 out of 3 from Vatra now, all souped up, and this is where the damage starts to flow. If Vatra can value their lives, they're only going to get stronger.
A lot of index on the map. Joker got marked as well, so this is a very scary prospect now for the Bonnie. How does Joker stay on his 2 feet? I like Mari here trying to pressure Payne away, who's actually wrapped around the...
Yeah, he's got to make a decision now, a bit of damage, but still very high in HP. RBM could go down if he's not careful.
Vatra have a lead, but it's starting to slip. Payne takes a beating in the middle part of the map, and again, that area of the wall knocked out allows Juan Carlos to find Maru. Another damage there, but there's going to be a great mark coming in from the belt. Vatra just behind, and Payne looking to try and even up the score. It's going to be a 1% difference going into the last 10.
So incredibly close. Vatra here trying to make their final push. They have got the lead, but only by 1%. They've got to defend now their lives as Maori. Approach
Нет, что?
Is it going to be a tie?
Еще!
Oh my goodness me! What a result! But it doesn't go anywhere. It's back to the beginning. But it just goes to show how close these two teams really are.
Now, you've done this a while, Lars. You know, some would consider you a veteran, grizzled veteran, perhaps, you know what I mean? Not like myself in other ways. How often do you see this? How often do you see a draw on heist?
You know, at that kind of stage, so rare. It really is. You can get a draw at 0% to 0%. That's actually sometimes more common, to be completely honest. But my word, it just goes to show the awareness, doesn't it, of both teams. They're timing their runs, but ultimately that 1% from Maori there was so clutch.
RBM able to help out in start to collapse here.
Я в
Two
шоке
players
прям.
up for Reply Totem right now. Vatra takes a bit of that early damage, just 3%. Maru's struggling to deal with RBM, and when Payne gets involved, it's almost unwinnable.
Невозможно, мне кажется.
Keeping Maori back and trying to get the angle between Juan Carlos and Payne. Juan Carlos with a pickup. Great stuff from him. Nest egg still there on the map. There's a great takedown there between RBM and Payne. They're really starting to make this work. A much better start here for Vatra.
Hard to win a 2v3 when you wanted the enemy side lane is going to collapse and make it a 2v1 in that part of the map. So Reply Totem just struggling, not being at full strength for the first sort of 30 seconds of the round. Payne has to back up here. Murray getting aggressive. Joker going in. RBM can't stand the heat. And now Joker gets to advance. Has to walk right up to the safe though. So instead, he'll set about getting rid of Payne. Murray taking down though, so that aggressive spurt will be cut short.
I've got to say, you know, for Vatra there, that could have gone perhaps worse. They were able to secure the kills. They needed to deflate the aggressive nature of that push from Reply Totem as such. They're able to reserve some valuable HP on that save there. Great takedown on the left here. Maori is now pressurizing it. Joker as well. It's just so dangerous. Dangerous Bonnie, isn't he?
This very dangerous here arc now is Murray's able to move up with that damage amplifier. Vatra not taking any damage on the safe in that foray, so Murray's forced to respect the defenders here. RBM gets a nice licking there on Murray. It's going to slow him down as Joker trying to command some presence in the mid. There's been a lane switch.
And Juan Carlos has been doing work. Everyone is souped up as a result of those supply drops now, and this is why we're seeing some swifter takedowns. Reply Totem struggling just a little bit, and if they go down in this mid, it's going to be more damage for Vatra and placing them on the back foot.
I love that supply drop on the enemy save for Juan Carlos. They get a bit of cheeky 3%. This puts Vatra now in a bit more of a comfortable position, but that might not last. Murray, salvo drops Vatra safe below Totems, and now it's going to be Joker going for the all-in. He gets a good amount of damage on that landing. Beautiful staggering, isn't it? But can Juan Carlos do this? It's body blocking there for days from Reply Totem. Are unable to hang on. They will take the first game. But what a close one. It was honestly, for me, from Reply Totem there, genius. The way they slowly staggered towards the safe mid, they were just constantly keeping Vatra. Having to defend the situation. They can go on the aggressive. Really safe approach to that round there. You kind of thought that Mari was looking to apply pressure with the 8-bit there by throwing that damage amp forward, but he actually sort of backs off, and Joker's all in, gives him the buffer they need to win the round. Well, one nest egg down there for Payne early on.
looking to get that set up again to get the most amount of value from the roughs. Reply Totem as well.
365.
Slow and steady, and you can afford to do that on a map like Safe Zone. Just keep your distance, try to get some utility down until you get that body soup to be able to go in aggressively there. Reply Totem though are getting a bit close for comfort towards their site.
Joker making maximum use of that cover, but that will now no longer be available to him. Nest egg right there in the middle means the Joker needs to be careful of approaching in Megalovania. Yep, going to make an RBM flattening Joker. And he's going to be able to move in here and take down the damage amp now. Mari is untethered and doesn't have that speed boost any longer.
Maru going to choose to break on the left-hand side, and I think that's a wise choice. Sandbags will help out a little bit with defensiveness. As Pain comes in to help, but not going to be able to secure it. Mari now spawning back in. Pain low and goes down, making that 3 versus 2 that they were dreading.
Vatra unable to take advantage of Maori being out of the game for a while.
Trouble
And now
with
it's coming
the
back to
mini
hurt them. But Megalovania popped again, and RBM pressuring that safe down. A lovely salvo of damage. What Maori's trying to do with the side lane is getting pressured by that bell constantly, and one Carlos collapses there. Maru falling. Going to be a trade though, and Mari out of the picture though. This is scary. Joker can't double back.
The scoreline is always so close with these two teams on this particular map. Joker, though, has got to go back here and heal up accordingly as another supply drop coming down now. 2 out of the 3 on the side of Vatra. Soups up as the 42nd minute approaches. Joker here just trying to shovel that time. But Pain is really tapping on this bell.
Now, Mari limited opportunities to protect the damage boost here. Pain able to find Joker now, and you can collapse on Maru, who's in a lot of danger. Reply Totem needed by this deficit. We might be going to a decider here. Reply Totem need to maybe consider an all-in play. They need this mid-control.
But I'm still so.
See, Vatra, I like the way they came back there. They can afford to. They've got the lead, but they've got to defend this. They can't drop the ball. The jump from Joker is there. That's why he does survive it. 2 versus 3. Great take us from RBM though. Maru comes in. It's going to be nine. It's going to be so close again. No way. No way. It can't. It can't. Surely. Maru coming in. He's done it. That's the damage he needs. Reply Totem. Take the set in spectacular fashion.
Бит хороший.
They might have to consider an all-in at the end of that round, and an all-in is what they do. It's going to be the diving there from body to start it up. Joker wants to get there. He actually walks into a nest egg, gets slowed up, and is caught out in the open with no range available to him. But it's Mari, saving the day, walks on up there with 8-bit, plants himself down and says, that save belongs to me.
So exciting, isn't it? It really is. Just the micro plays with Reply Totem. And so calm in that respect at the same time. I think it goes to show again just that level of professionalism. They're just not in that headspace where they're panicking. It's just collected and so controlled in their approach. Very close stuff. Very, very much indeed, but Vatra just coming a little bit behind, and that, again, from Reply Totem just goes to show how well they fare in this matchup.
Again, I think, this was really foreshadowed by both coaches coming into this game saying, we think we're like each other's mirror image. You know what I mean? Like from different regions across, across the Atlantic Ocean, we really feel like we have the same style. But look at this, by the way. Everyone's trying to body block from Mari's damage. He just gets enough there with the last couple of seconds of the round. I mean, you can't write this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. That was absolutely stunning. And yeah, look at the amount of damage, by the way, that Vatra are able to do by comparison. And still, they drop the set.
Power of roughs, honestly, and look at that. It really does go to show how well Reply Totem did under that much pressure, doesn't it? I mean, it was such a tough moment at the end there because it was a draw until that trickle of damage came in, and you've got to then body block every single shot. You don't have much space to breathe, and it was just a bit too much for Vatra.
It's been said at the start of the game, Vatra Gaming potentially the most successful NA and LATAM North team in the second half of the season are now staring down the barrel of an early exit from our World Finals. No more second chances for this team. This set must belong to them, otherwise it's all over.
Yeah, it's now or never for Vatra, well, at least now until next year. They've got to start to get the momentum. They had that first game in this series under their belt, but the reply of Reply Totem really was that to be marveled at. Brawl Ball is obviously a very fast-paced game, therefore you've got to consider a lot of brawlers that can really wrap and tie things up very quickly. I want to see that Max ban, and I am going to see it from Reply Totem, and the Gale ban as well from Vatra, so far, so good for me.
Snap pick the Gene straight away. Vatra want to make sure that they have the ability, of course, to get a brawler advantage and start to push up the field here. B going to be picked up now. On the side of Joker and Pinhole Punt, of course, is going to be our map here. Crow comes in.
That's a surprising one for me, but I mean, again, having that slowing toxin, it's going to pair really, really nicely with B and just ensure those amplified shots just keep trickling in. Now, it's the tankier map. They've got the Gale Band in play on the side of Vajra. It would be the right time to bring something in, but the Ash Band there from Reply Totem is securing, therefore, out of the mix, the one that they feared the most. It does still have some options, though. Carl going to come in, and we've seen a lot of that particular brawler today.
I mean, he is just absolutely insane. Especially when it comes to the old go aggressive strategy. Penny here coming in, so he's actually seen the van a couple of times, but now Vajra decides it's time to go for it.
Yeah, and the pairing again between the Gene and the Carl, you know, getting that magic hand to connect, and then having Carl just really come in and ensure that swift takedown. I'm kind of curious as to how the Flighters were going to tie up this comp. I've not really seen them run this before in Pinhole Punt. Of course it is. We've waited a while to see it all day, and I'm sure many at home wondering like how it's taken this long to see it.
Give us the lowdown of Buster for those maybe not super familiar with this newest brawler.
If it's got its shield up, just stop shooting. Just don't feed into it, because it's going to reflect back and cause the damage to yourselves, and that is going to then allow your team to have a great push going forwards in Brawl Ball. It's a real menace. It's had obviously a recent nerf, but it's still in a very good place.
Remember, Buster charges super by staying close to teammates, so expect that to be a factor here, but Joker gets absolutely smashed early on the round. Maru's just going to clean up though, and he swoops on in.
Mary finds then Juan Carlos in the salty barrel is down, but he's continuing to tap. It's really great awareness and slow connections as well. Oh my word, Maori, you've excelled yourself, boy.
Oh my goodness, RBM just able to scoop the ball up. Not a great start for Vajra. They've got to settle themselves here. Maybe not expecting to see the Buster at this point in the game, but they need to have a plan to deal with it now. You don't shoot at the montage.
Yeah, you've got to try to get from the side there, but the pressure is really mounting in this position. Payne, though, and misses the magic hand. That was the real saving grace that they had in this position. But now, the Penny turret coming down, it's going to slow the pace a little bit and allow them to just kind of reset.
Maybe the jitters starting to get to Vajra there, of course, as that gene pool would have been absolutely monumental for them here. Maru again, montage, it's going to be a sweep in for Joker. He tries to go for the all-in instantly, though, disintegrates.
That's why Penny's a great pick to have. It just gives you the time that you need, and then on the aggressive it can do very much the same idea of allowing you time to maneuver the ball around. Just taking it very slow and cautious. The healing puffs coming in from Payne. And now starting to move down the right-hand side, bringing the ball forward slowly. They got out of that situation really quite well.
Reply Totem had the map control, but they can't convert it into a goal. So that's definitely going to be in the top of their to-do list now as they approach. Maru just flattens RBM there. Maori also trying to peek in from the left-hand side. That's a magic hand connection with Vajra. Now can start to work.
Yeah, that's great from Payne. He needs to keep doing that consistently so, and already starts to deflate a lot of this aggressive nature of Reply Totem. So far they've been keeping Vajra back the entire game, but they haven't been able to get a goal yet, and I think that says quite a lot for this situation.
They don't really move through destruction ability here. That definitely might hurt them. They have to score a goal via more conventional means here. Definitely looking for an absolute team wipe before they can advance. Oh, that could be dangerous. All right. Maru falls back. Tailspin there from RBM. Notice the durability. Honey Molasses thrown down, and Mari's good on the conversion.
Mari is playing a great game, honestly. And, you know, over time as well, he's going to thrive. That's the problem. And he just keeps connecting these shots. Payne has to go back now, but low HP means that he's going to have to reconsider it a little bit.
All right, some of the map getting opened up a little bit more now, but it's Mari v. Juan Carlos. Mari not in a position rather to do much with the ball. You're not going to walk it in. What? Are you kidding?
No salty barrel. You've got to consider saving some of the utility, but that was why Reply Totem kept that control for such a long time. It just meant that it just dwindled down slowly but surely, and now Vajra are in a world of hurt.
He didn't even look surprised there,
You've got to think about the late game.
All right, RBM starting strong this time around, finding two big pickoffs. Great opening here. It should be a comfortable one for Vajra. Can they get there? But Maru, he can't stop Juan Carlos. He can score.
It's exactly the response you need under the circumstances. You know, the pressure could not be higher here. Against the match point, you've got to start to get that early goal. And, you know, they've shown and demonstrated already that they can defend these moments. So, a great start for them. They've got to maintain it.
Trade to start the fight there. It's going to be Joker yoinked out of formation. Iron high from Mari, hoping to line up Juan Carlos. Having some difficulty zeroing in on that Penny and gets picked off again.
Still coming out, and that will, again, slow the pace just a little bit. The positioning there from Vatra was great, honestly, just working those sides onto Maru. Maru as well, can't really push forwards now. Payne is very much aware. Maru low, starting to develop here. Payne can get forwards. Joker knows this and goes in there for aggressively. I love that play from Joker. It deflated so much of that situation that was starting to occur.
Maru having used utility belt earlier on there as the map being opened up more. Means it is a bit vulnerable at times. Vatra starting in a lead here in this second round. Honey Molasses thrown down the left-hand side. Juan Carlos sheepishly having to back away now under the effect of that slow. But Maru wants to push up. He wants to get aggressive. He might be looking for that turret. Maru slots it! What a shot!
Кстати, мы с
Beautiful
ребятами,
stuff.
когда играли в нос, такие голы делали
The
очень easy.
observation was there. Oh, it's Reply Totem doing Reply Totem things here, and this could be the moment which they were able to seal it. But Payne, great connection, just able to turn the
Канале
tide.
вы так посмотрели.
In the face of utter audacity
Еще
by
мы
Reply Totem, Vatra
закидывали
able to stabilize here.
Мортис, получается.
Here comes the swoop though. Here we go.
Генетически
RBM.
просто.
But hang on there. That's the second unsuccessful full dive from Joker now. But Maru wants to try and follow up on some of the damage done. Maru gets one. Carlos moving two, and Maru is encroaching.
Мы там
I
с
love
ребятами
this
потом
plays from Reply Totem. It just feels like a bit of a matter of
минут
time.
10
And the connection
разговаривали.
again is there from Maru, as now his team start to join in what is a great spot to have with 10 seconds on the clock going into overtime.
Yep, map control for Reply Totem here, looking to try and send Vatra Gaming home. Overtime coming at us. Blinking, you'll miss it, ladies and gentlemen. Now the map is open. It's go time.
Погнали.
Payne needs that ball,
Готовься на время.
and he is getting some value along the way for it. He can combine it with RBM, it will help out considerably as Joker goes in a bit overzealous, but keeping the pressure on. Maru and Maori are staying really firm to this push.
He got it, Maru. You thought he might have overextended there for a moment. He tries to juke the shot from Payne, but he can't escape. Payne is going to wait for reinforcements here. Magic Hand is now available. 32 seconds left in the round, and Reply Totem are regrouping.
Yeah, just taking it slow, allowing Maori to try to keep the pressure. He's got amplified shot now as well, and Payne has got to therefore be very cautious. His step, ball, as Joker can jump in on that at any moment if he wants to. Maori pushing forwards, great stuff. Where's the ball going to go here?
Joker pushing up. Dangerous, could be dangerous here. RBM on the ball though. 8 seconds left in the
Карл
round.
вышел
Here
с этого
comes Payne,
положения.
trolling down the middle part of the
Пас.
map, but Ironhide slows him up. Maori trying to deal with RBM.
Сейв.
He's able to keep the ball from going in. And we
Ничья.
have a tied game. Pretty insane overtime moment there.
Again, so many close calls, isn't it? You know, both teams know exactly what to do under
Yeah,
pressure. I think that's very, very clear. It's been a whisker between it all the way through. But we go again.
RBM wants to push Joker back. He might be thinking twice about that. Slowing Toxin makes it hard to pursue, but Payne chips in there from the mid, finds that first pick off.
Maru goes down here. Could be an opening if they
Мне сейчас
want
будет
to
круто,
try
если
to
этот темп
make a push for it. Highlighted next, great stuff from him.
сейчас
Joker,
выиграет 3-0.
to get the ball clear here, maybe get a jump there too
Если
low. Pick up
прогноз
his
дадут.
He's been getting punished much of this round. RBM goes
In
deep on
principe,
Maru
that's
now. It's only
just
Maori
similar.
left. Bad situation potentially becoming worse. Here's the dive from Joker. He knows RBM slowed up. Great pick off, and Payne's in no position to push the advantage.
You need these aggressive plays. It just helps so much. Let's do a pass. It's there, Joker.
Пас
He's gonna make his
Джокеру.
way
И
forwards.
Джокер
There we go. It's
забивает.
there. Joker scores.
That is always going to be the risk in a situation like that. Go down in brawlers and have someone like Joker walking in, the least durable member of this Reply Totem team. Honey Molasses won't slow RBM down there, though, and Vatra needs to get moving.
Yeah, there's very little time now to do so. And Reply Totem know how close they really are. Maru surviving as well on here despite the flames on the map. Now, the inevitable happens. The push forwards. But Vatra cannot miss
наш
this
герой
opportunity.
Маури.
He needs to make this count.
Его
Can't
убивают.
ask for much more than RBM. RBM goes in with the balls out of control of
Mario
Vatra. Maru's able to pick
добивает.
it up and stick it in the corner. Golden opportunity there, goes begging.
Yeah, and this is the moment that they've got to make those moments count, honestly.
Добил.
Now, they're going to regroup into the mid and just keep that pressure on, and that's exactly what Reply Totem need to do. They've got the goal. They haven't got to do anything at all except defend.
45 seconds, all that stands between Vatra Gaming and the early exit from the World Finals. Ball back in the corner. Joker just testing mid here. Reply Totem don't need to overextend. They have the advantage. But RBM gets flattened anyway. Joker's able to dive on in. 30 seconds left and the ball is tantalizingly far out of Vatra's reach.
It's looking bleak for Vatra, and they need to get a push. The pawn is there, but it's not the result he wants to bring in. RBM picks up the slack right hook in. He's got to go aggressive here onto Barry. 15 seconds remain. They might be able to do this.
Joker's going to be close. Payne's low. Mari's going to be back in the fight now. Payne is not building a really close big advantage, and that's going to be it. What a sad end for Vatra Gaming here as Reply Totem stand tall. They shepherd the ball and say, this town belongs to us.
And when they sweep no less as well on the world stage, that says to me that they mean business. Many expected Reply Totem to have the edge of their LAN experience, but Vatra made it so close along the way. It could have gone a number of different ways, but today it was all about Reply Totem.
And it's as good a time as any to say that we were wrong in our prediction, right?
Teddy was right.
Yeah, Teddy, we maybe expected a lot from Vatra coming into this tournament, right? There's a lot on the line for them here, and it's pretty intimidating. But now we see why Reply Totem were taking things seriously. They weren't cranking, they weren't running around, they weren't goofing off. They were in the tank preparing these strategies. They get themselves a date now with Zeta Division 1 in the quarters.
That's a tasty snack right there, isn't it? It really is. I mean, you know, this was the prediction I had the biggest trouble with. I took my time with this one. The others I felt pretty comfortable with.
Just copium at this point, I
just want to regain some.
Just own it like me, you know. I mean, I tell you what, Reply Totem have to be pleased with this result. Again, alright, a bit of a rough couple months in the EMEA region. Whereas Vatra looks so dominant here, but this might really give us an indication of how, as a region, EMEA is stacking up against the rest of the field. Their number 2 seed absolutely smashes Vatra Gaming here in a sweep. There were some close moments, some exciting times to be sure, but it's not enough ultimately from the second seed from NA and LATAM North to advance. What a blockbuster we have now. Reply Totem going up against Zeta Division 1. An incredible matchup.
Yeah, good luck with your predictions on that one. I mean, what can you say? I mean, that is just such a treat to have in store for us to...
Не, вообще, ребята. Ой, какие мы все молодцы. Рад могу прийти с поддержкой. Ой, задержкой. Ну что по прогнозам? Ну ладно. Пам-пум-пам. А вы прикиньте, я сейчас один день просто это чисто сделаю, все. Будет вообще кайф.
We'll take it all, so we'll see, we will see.
Much more World Finals to be played, ladies and gentlemen, live here in Disneyland. We've got 2 more best of 5s coming right up, so don't go anywhere. This is the Brawl Stars 2022 World Finals.
Вау, 3D. Ой, не 3D. А, кайф. О, кайф. А, тяжело. Я, кстати, только на 30-м левеле. Не, ну быстро ба. Лево. Лево, нет. Лево. А что сейчас? Почему? Я залез. Я просто это мэр. Мэр. Боже. Что делать? Нет, один день это невозможно. Минимум за 2. Ну ладно, я устал уже сегодня сидеть уже. Завтра уже. Я уже устал. Так, фильм закончен. Я оставлю свой телефон в рука. Так что всем пока-пока. Кто смотрел стрим, всем спасибо.